Welcome to the Slapshot Bets head-to-head data product. In this video, I'm going to be going over what the product is, the purpose of this product, how to use the product, and how to purchase this product. So when you first open the web page, you'll see this view where we have every team here on the left viewed as the opponent. So we have a few different categories of stats here. We first have the record stats, like wins, losses, points, wins percentage, that sort of thing. Then moving along, we have the goals for and goals against stats, as well as differential, and then per game as well, so you can see the average score between teams. I'll show you more details once we start filtering the teams in a little bit. Then we have the special team stats. So we have all the power play goals, power play percentage, penalty kill percentage, and so on. And then we have the shooting stats. So we have shots for, shots against per game, that sort of thing, shot differential per game, shooting percentage, and save percentage. And then the final category, we have the combination of wins, losses, overtime losses while outshooting the opponent and while being outshot. Benefits of this product is the speed in which you can filter teams. So for example, if we just select, let's say, the Carolina Hurricanes, within seconds you can see all of their head-to-head stats against every team. All of these stats within seconds. You can't get that anywhere else. And then you can even filter down to the specific opponent, like let's say Calgary. And then we clear that, or you can even, let's say you only wanted the recent 3 seasons. Let's remove 21-22. You can see how it adjusts very quickly. And then we can also see the bar charts down below for a visual. As you can see, some of the most important stats are included as visuals to give you an idea there. And these bar charts also adjust very quickly. Let's do Chicago, for example. You can see the adjustment, Colorado. You can see how quickly they all adjust in accordance to the filters. Like let's say we were removing this season again, and it adjusts. And you can also use the filters on the left here. Instead, I personally prefer just using the buttons, but there's many different options to make it as user-friendly as possible. And you can also hone in on specific matchups. For example, let's say Colorado versus Calgary, and then the bar charts adjust accordingly, as well as the data itself. This product would be useful. Let's just go through a hypothetical. Let's just say Dallas is playing Anaheim. You can get all of the stats that are helpful for multiple betting categories. So for example, you can get information about the money line with the general winning stats about simply who will win the game. The goals for categories helps with the spread, deciding perhaps how many goals a team would win by. And then we have specials such as power play stats, like will a team score a power play goal? And then shooting categories are a popular betting category, such as will the over and under on the shots, or like will a team have this many shots? And it's also very helpful overall for parlays, where you need multiple categories to win simultaneously. So for example, the shooting stats and the winning stats can go hand in hand for parlays. So overall, just this information that's readily available is very helpful for many of the popular betting categories when people bet on hockey. You can easily switch your matchup. So let's say we just looked at Dallas and Anaheim game, and then let's just say the Oilers are playing the Flames. It's a matter of 2 clicks to quickly see all of the different stats for this matchup, and then then there's another game. Let's say Florida and Buffalo, and then you can even adjust the home and away. So let's say Florida's playing Buffalo at home, so you want to see specifically at home, and then you can see all of the stats, and of course adjusting if you don't like the season range. Let's say you only care about last season, you can just get rid of the other ones and view how they played at home only last season and view all the stats. There's three main buttons to keep in mind. So the first one is just simply the actual buttons themselves, which can also be accessed by the list on the left. So it's relatively straightforward. You essentially just select what you want, and let's say Buffalo versus Boston, and then whatever you're clicking on is basically what you're getting. So here, select the team, home, away, and so on. But it goes hand in hand with this button here, which is the multi-select button. So what multi-select basically does is it allows you to select multiple things at once. So for example, now I have the multi-select activated for the opponent. So if we click on Calgary, it'll now show Calgary as well and also reflect that in the charts. And it's essentially useful for when you want to see a few different filters, but not all of them. And essentially what it does is it flips the buttons. So for example, here we can see highlighted blue, Boston is enabled, whereas Anaheim highlighted white is currently disabled. So if we click on Boston while multi-select is selected, it'll flip to white and no longer select, whereas when we click on a white, it'll flip it to blue. So it's a pretty, that's I guess pretty straightforward way to look at it. So for example, here Dallas is white, it's not shown. If we click on it, it'll flip it to blue. And same over here. So for example, right now only home is selected. I don't have it selected, so let's select multi-select, and then if we click away, currently it's only at home. By clicking away, we now have it reset where it's both at home and away, and then if we click on just home, it'll be away. So that's essentially how multi-select works. It's especially helpful for the season category because it helps you more easily enable certain seasons and disable other ones. And yeah, and then the final button is the filter, clear filter button. So this only pops up when you actually have the filter. So for example here, all of the categories are currently selected, so there's nothing to reset. Whereas here, we've obviously filtered out certain teams. So if you want to reset and go back to square one, you can just click this clear filter button and it will bring you back. And multi-select will always be selected until you deselect. So just to show again, all the opponents are currently shown for Buffalo, and obviously Buffalo is automatically excluded because it's the opponents. So without multi-select, when you click on one, you're only looking at that team and the corresponding charts. But with multi-select, if we bring back all the teams, Buffalo, let's say we want to do multi-select. This time, if we click on Boston, it'll actually just eliminate Boston from the list instead of singling out Boston. It's pretty straightforward. So here is the Slapshot Bets homepage. So you can either access it just from the homepage here, where you can click on it, and it'll take you to the sign up page. And then you simply sign up, and it'll look like this, and you create the account. Or you can go directly to the product page, and then click it from here, or as well from the home page. You can click on the product page in multiple ways. It'll open in a new tab, and then you can again click from here, and it'll just basically take you to the same sign up page where you can then sign up. And if you've already signed up and you want to return to the page, you go login.